Well, hello there, beautiful. Welcome back to the tea room. It's time for tea with Tamara, and today I have a makeup tutorial for you guys featuring the Becca and Chrissy collaboration palette. You guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, this is gonna be good, okay? If you want to see how I created this beautiful summer beachy glowy look using this palette, yes, you heard me correctly, this palette is on my eyes, it's on my face, it's on my lips. Yes, just continue to watch. I want to tell you really quickly what I'm sipping on in my little teacup here. I am sipping on some coconut vanilla tea by Tree of Life. This is what the packaging looks like. I found this at I found this at Marshall's for only $3.99. It's a beautiful, light, coconutty, vanilla-y flavor that is absolutely delightful. It's not necessarily light, but it's light in flavor and warm too. So it's one of those teas that can kind of work for either season. If you want to make it tropical, you can. If you want to sip on it during the wintertime, you can, because it's just that great. But yes, enough about the tea. Just continue to watch this tutorial to see how I achieve this beautiful look here. And thank you guys so much for stopping by the tea room. Let's get into it. Okay, you guys, so in the interest of time, I've already gone ahead and done my brows. So right now, I'm just gonna come in with an all over lid color. And I think for the look that we're going for today, I'm going to use this creme brulee shadow. I think this is a Makeup Geek. Yes, Makeup Geek's creme brulee. So I'm going to use that on a fluffy brush such as this. This is the Sigma E40 brush. And I'm just going to start tapping that in there and then blending that out. And creme brulee is a great all over lid color, and I think it's an awesome color for every skin tone. So I just want to pat it on first to make sure that I get the pigment on there, and then I'm just gonna blend it out. And I go back and forth between circular and windshield wiper motions. I'm gonna go in with this color right here on my mobile lid. And I think this color is called the Rose Gold Highlighter. So we're just gonna pop that. Ooh, that's pretty, you guys, on our mobile lid. I hope that you can see this. I'm gonna go in for some more. Gorgeous. So you guys, when I hauled this palette, I told you guys that if you get a palette like this, such as this one, and some of the colors don't work for you, to find another way to use them. And this is definitely one of those palettes that you can do that with. Just because it is a bronzer, blush, and highlight palette does not mean that you can only use it for those purposes. That's the beauty of makeup. It's quite versatile in that you can use a highlighter as an eyeshadow depending on the look that you're going for. You can even use a blush for an eyeshadow, and vice versa. You can use an eyeshadow as a highlighter or a blush, you know, depending on your skin tone and what you like. And I bet I probably should have wet my brush with some makeup setting spray, because I bet that would look really pretty as well. So now that I've got it on the lid, I'm just gonna come back in with my fluffy brush with nothing on it, and I just want to kind of buff away any harsh lines. And if you hear the clicking noises in the background, you know that's hubby working. This bronzer color right here. And I'm gonna put that in my crease area, kind of as a mid-tone transition color, because I don't think that that color is gonna work on my skin tone as a bronzer, but we'll see. We'll see when we get there. So I'm just gonna start applying this in my crease. And this is a beautiful transition color, you guys, for women of color as well. I just feel like this palette was so beautifully done and executed in that the colors will work for a wide range of skin tones, and it will not be a disappointment to you. So if you haven't gotten your hands on it, I would highly, highly recommend that you do that, because this is one that if you don't have it in your collection, you will be sorry. If you were on the fence, if you were wondering if you should or you shouldn't, let me just say now, I think you should, because it's just so gorgeous and beautiful. And I would classify this as a warm tone palette, which is perfect for spring and summer. This will also be beautiful on a bride. If you do bridal makeup, I think this will give a summer bride a nice, beautiful, healthy glow. Okay, so I'm gonna come back in with my fluffy brush and I'm just blending. So the look that we're going for, as I said before, is a very soft, beautiful summertime look. So we're not going for plenty of drama with the eyes, but we want to look nice and we want that nice, beautiful, beachy, healthy glow. All right, so I am not satisfied with the pigmentation on my mobile lid, so I'm going to actually wet my brush a little bit and go back into that rose gold highlighter and apply that on my mobile lid. Yes. Yes, much better. I can see it way better. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but we just took it up a notch by wetting our brush. And if you hear a dog barking, that's my neighbor's dog. Oh, I can't with some of the dogs in this neighborhood. I think we've talked about that before, in that there's a ton of dogs around me, and one starts barking and they all start barking. And it's very inconvenient, and they always seem to do it when I'm ready to record. Which is why I get so annoyed. But I know that they're dogs and they're just being dogs and they can't help themselves, and that's what dogs do. But it's like, good grief. Every time I click my record button, it's like they have a sensor. Oh, Tamara's recording, let's start barking. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna deepen, add a little bit more dimension, and go into a darker chocolate brown, and I'm going to be using Max Espresso. So I'm just going to go in my outer V area, and what I'm doing is I'm starting right here on the very outer corner of my mobile lid, and I'm just trying to kind of sketch out a sideways V, or the greater than, less than sign. Right there. And I'm gonna concentrate the color right in the outer V area, which is the outer third section of the eye. If you want to, you can eventually just take it further into your crease, maybe about 2/3 of the way. Not too far over. I would say just right over your eyeball. I wouldn't go any further than that unless you're doing a cut crease. And if you were gonna do a cut crease, then you would use a more defined brush than this, and you would take it all the way through the eye, through the crease of your eye, but I like to just stop over my eyeball. And with this, you want to swirl, and then when you get over to this area, you kind of want to go in with that windshield wiper motion. But on the outer V area, if you want that nice diffused look, you want to just keep swirling your brush. And this takes time to learn. And if you have hooded eyes, my eyes, I don't know if they're hooded or if they're just really creased. Do you see how it disappears when I open my eyes? So I like to go a little bit above this fold in my eyes so that you can see that. So without putting any extra product, I just take the blending a little bit above that fold in my eyelid so that you can see the definition there. And as I say, don't worry about anything that gets right here, because you can always come back in with a wipe or concealer to clean that up. And that is why I am an advocate for doing your shadow first before putting on your foundation. Because if you're messy like me or you're a beginner, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna make a mess with it. And yeah, you don't want to ruin your foundation by, you know, with the eyeshadow. So that's pretty decent for me. If you want to diffuse it a little bit more, you can always come back in with your fluffy brush. I don't have anything else on this brush, and just continue to blend. This is where you blend for your life, honey child. Blend for your life. You want to make sure that you blend away the harsh lines without removing your eyeshadow, because you still want it to be seen, but we just don't want any harsh lines. And if you like a nice natural neutral look on your eye and you want to create the softness, then blending with a fluffy brush is going to be your best for the other side. I'm gonna come on the outer third of my mobile lid, and I'm just gonna sketch out a sideways V. And then I'm going to just swirl my brush like so, and then just slowly drag it 2/3 the way over. So again, I'm not coming into the crease, the inner corner or the inner crease here. I'm staying on the outer and bringing it about 2/3 of the way, which should be right over your eyeball. Okay, I'm just gonna punch up my color here just a tad bit more, because I feel like it's lacking just a little bit. That looks about even to me. And then I'm gonna wet my brush again. And I'm just using my Mario Badescu facial spray with aloe and rose. Better. Smells just as good as the cucumber one. I'm really enjoying this rose gold on my mobile lid, you guys. I think it's so beautiful. Okay, so now I'm gonna come back in with my fluffy brush, and we're just gonna softly blend away any harsh lines that we created with that darker chocolate brown. I like where this look is going. I really, really do. This is gonna be beautiful. So for my brow bone highlight, I usually like to do a matte up here. I know a lot of people like shimmery stuff up here, but I prefer to go with a matte shade. That's just my preference. You can do what works best for you. But I feel like a matte for my brow bone highlight just does something for me that a shimmer does not. I feel like a shimmer gets too messy for me up there. I don't know. Occasionally I might put a shimmer up there, but I just feel like if you have shimmer on your mobile lid, then for me, I don't like the look of shimmer up underneath my brow bone too. I don't know why I'm like that. I just am. But you do what you like because it's your face. Oh, I forgot to tell you the color that I'm using. So this is the color Matte Natural, and this, oops, this is by, oh geez, who is this by again? I cannot remember. If I remember, I'll be sure to tell you. Jane Cosmetics, there you go. Ha! Had a brain fart. Got a little bit of that in my brow hair. I think that's the other reason too. It's like shimmer, brow bone, getting into your eyebrow hair after you set them is a booger to get out. But matte shades, you can easily blend those away, I feel. Has anybody else experienced that? Or is it just, let me zoom you guys out a little bit so you can see this look. It's looking good to me. I don't know how it's looking to you guys, but I'm liking what I'm seeing. So, as I said before, we have a little bit of mess out on the outer V. I just like to wrap my finger in a makeup removing wipe and just kind of gently wipe away any fallout. And once I do that, I get a very good feel for how my look is turning out. And I can tell you, I'm loving what I'm seeing in my viewfinder. I don't know about you guys, but now I'm going to line my upper lash line. And I'm using a felt tip liquid liner pen, which is, I feel like using a liquid liner pen gives me more control as opposed to actual liquid liner, because this is one thing that I feel I'm not the greatest at. And if you are like me, then you want to make sure to take your time. So I like to do a baby wing. I don't like the wings that go on and on for days because it just doesn't look right on me. And keep in mind, we're 41. So I want to look my age and I don't want to look like I'm reaching. No offense to those of you who like the exaggerated wing look, who happen to be the same age as me. Do you, boo? Again, I'm just telling y'all what works for me, what I like to see on my face. I think the shelf life for a liquid liner pen is 6 months. But I use the mascara rule with these most of the time because I just feel like if you're using this as often as you're using your mascara, it's in the eye area, I'm not leaving anything to chance. So I usually refresh my pens every 3 months, which works out great for me anyway, because right around 3 months, depending on how often you're using it, it's going to be running out anyway. So now I'm going to tightline with my NYX waterproof pencil in black. And I always tear up at this part because it tickles. Whew, I'm gonna wait a minute for my tears. Do y'all see them? To subside before I do my lower lash line because, whew. All right, so let's begin on the face. I'm gonna zoom you out some more so that you can see what we're doing. Maybe that's a little too far. Bring it in just a little bit more. Okay, so I hope that you all can see my face. The foundation that I'm going to be using, I've already primed, is my Younique Mineral Touch foundation. I'm in the color Cypress, and so I'm just going to give this a shake. This foundation is a liquid foundation, but it's very light. It actually comes in a dropper form, and it has serum in it, which is good for your skin. And I switch back and forth between this and my Nars, but they're both kind of like the same in texture, although this one is more liquidy than my Nars one. So I'm going to be using my e.l.f. powder brush, which I feel works great to apply foundation, and I'm just going to do a few drops. Let's get some more in there onto my brush, and then I'm going to stipple it on. I'm not going to go right up under my eyes because I'm going to put concealer there. But what I am going to do is, I like to use this brush to get it on there, but I like smoothing everything out with a beauty blender or a beauty sponge, because I feel like it gives me a better application that way. Plus, I didn't get the fancy schmancy brush that you can use. It doesn't come with the foundation, but you use it to apply the foundation. So now I'm gonna come in with this Flower Beauty Sponge, and I found out about this through Coffee Break with Danny. She mentioned it in one of her videos, and you guys, it is so soft. And it was about $9, $8.99 at Walmart, and I really do like it. Now you guys already know I have sensitive skin that has issues in terms of unevenness in skin tone. So a lot of times, regardless of how much makeup I apply, it's always gonna look like it's either not properly blended in or that it doesn't match. So you can see right out here on the perimeter of my face is darker than the inside of my face, because I'm actually losing pigment in this area because the weather has been very persnickety up and down, and whenever that happens, it spawns off a seborrheic flare-up, and when I'm flaring, I stop producing melanin, which causes me to lighten in certain areas. I'm gonna go in with a second coat. So it can be very difficult at times when I'm putting on my makeup because nothing's wanting to match and I'm working with two colors. I just try to cover it as best as I can, and if it peeks through my foundation, I'm okay with that because it's my skin. It is what it is. It does what it does, and you have to love yourself regardless of your flaws. And so, as long as my makeup looks presentable and I'm not looking crazy and everything is nicely blended, then whatever peeks through is gonna peek through, child. I'm not gonna worry about that. And neither should you. If you have acne, if you have vitiligo, if you have any type of skin disorder, embrace the things that you cannot change and just keep it moving. It makes for a happier life. and it's looking a little red on me, but I think once I do my concealer, it will balance me out, because this is a very warm shade of foundation. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now I'm going to come in with my favorite concealer, which is the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in Amande, which I think means almond. I don't know. I think. But you guys, I freaking love this concealer. I don't know what it is about this concealer that I enjoy so much. But I really do. And some days on my really like no makeup days, I will just put this on with a little face powder and call it a day. Honestly, I wish it came more in a tube, because I could just use this one color and be great. I promise you. Because it just seems to really do wonderful things on my skin. All right, now that I have my tribal wear on, I'm gonna spray my sponge again. And I'm gonna just blend, tap in this concealer. Now the only thing about this sponge is that it has a little bit of a point, but it is kind of bulky, so it's kind of hard to get into the crease of the corners of your eye, but it does apply well for the most part. And I think it's worth the $9. Yeah, we're coming together. There goes the dog barking again. I don't know if you can hear it. Hopefully when I put on my face powder, it won't seem so red, or maybe it's just on camera that it's like super duper red, but it does match me. This is my correct color. I suppose I could probably go down a shade, but I don't see the need in that because I'm gonna tan as the summer is going. So by the time we get into the full swing of the summer season, trust and believe, that'll definitely be my color. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is come in with a little bit of my CoverFx powder, but before I do that, I'm gonna set my under eye with my Laura Mercier translucent powder on a brush here. This powder is amazing, love it. And I'm just gonna tap it in with this Real Techniques brush. What is this? This is the setting brush. Right underneath the eye. Most times I use a damp beauty blender for this, but with the Laura Mercier powder, you don't have to. With my e.l.f. setting powder, I do, because that one is not as finely milled as this Laura Mercier. It's still a great powder, which I still need to go re-up on that because I ran out of it, but then I got this Laura Mercier one for the Sephora Point Perks, so I didn't really need to go get the e.l.f. one, but I'm still gonna go get it because it's definitely one that you wanna have for your collection. And what I love about the Laura Mercier is that I don't just have to use it under my eye. I can use it on the areas that I put concealer on to set that. And then I'm just gonna come in with the rest of my face setting powder, which is the CoverFx powder in medium. And I don't need a lot of that one either, because a little goes a long way. And this powder is pretty good too, although I do feel like if I use too much, it makes me a little ashy, so light-handed, but it does bring everything together quite nicely. I like it a lot. Okay, so now I'm gonna get into this Becca Chrissy Teigen palette, which is what I have been waiting for. We played with it a little bit on the eyes, but now I want to see what it's going to do on the face. And so, like I already told you, I don't think that it is going to really bronze me per se, but we're gonna try it and see if it warms me up a little bit, although I feel like I'm pretty warm right now, so I don't know how much warmer I could possibly get, but we're just gonna see what it does on my skin tone and how bomb this palette is. So I have my e.l.f. Blending brush here. This is the one that's kind of flattened out for you, and I'm gonna just use this as a bronzer, the bronzing color here, right here, which is called Malibu Soleil bronzer. And so we're just gonna hit all the areas where the sun would hit me, as if I were out in the sun. And I don't really see it because I feel like it's blending in to my skin tone. But I kind of like it though. Maybe I could use it as a setting powder. I don't know. I don't mind it, you guys. It's not bad. I mean, it's kind of blending into my skin, but not in a bad way. So if you're lighter than me, this might work well for you. If you are lighter, have a lighter complexion than me. I'm going to, I didn't bring it with me. Okay, so never mind that. I was gonna contour a little bit, but I didn't bring it with me, so it's okay. We'll just pull that out. You could even possibly use this bronzer as a blush as well, if you're lighter than me. But right now, it's not really showing up that much, but I don't mind it. So it's not like, oh, I can't use it at all. And remember, again, if it doesn't work for you on the face, this makes a great transition color for the eyes, which we used that in our crease earlier. So it's not a loss for me. I'm happy with it. I'm quite happy with it, which sounds all summery and everything. And I'm just gonna tap that on to my cheeks, which I love a coral colored blush in the summertime. I feel like coral on brown skin is just beautiful. It gives a beautiful, healthy glow without making you have clown face. And it's just amazing to me, and I really do like this. But again, I have to be careful with products that have a ton of shimmer in it, because you can see it's kind of showing up my little seborrheic area. But you guys, I don't let that stop me from wearing the shimmer, because I love shimmer. I love it. So I'm just kind of blending that out just a little bit with whatever's left on my powder brush. And then now I'm going to hit the cheeks with the highlighter in Beach Nectar. Oh, you guys. This palette is just everything to me. It really is. It really is. I can tell I will be living in this palette all summer long. It was beautifully executed, perfectly done, in my opinion. Not gonna go too crazy with it because I really don't like that over highlighted look for myself, but I do want to look glowy. And she is glowing, definitely glowing. All right, so let's go back to lining our lower lash line. And I'm feeling a little bit adventurous, you guys. Can you indulge me for just a minute? I'm curious to see what that blush color would do up underneath my lower lash line. So we're gonna try this out, and I'm a little scared because I don't know if it's gonna be crazy or not, but I'm gonna zoom you back in. Hopefully you can see me. But I'm just curious. I'm not a huge fan of color eyeshadow, but every now and then, it's summertime, you can play around. You can be a little bit more adventurous. But I'm just curious to see. Oh, guys. Oh my gosh, yes. I like that. I'm just putting a little bit because you don't want to look sick around the eyes. And you have to be careful with reds, because it can make you look ill. But we're just playing in a makeup palette today and seeing what all we can do with it. And I like it. Okay, so let me zoom you back out. Just a little hint of color, nothing too crazy. Just a hint, guys, nothing too crazy at all. Okay, all right, what else do we need to do? Mascara. So this is a combo that I have been loving lately. I've been using the Maybelline Colossal Big Shot coupled with the Rimmel Lash Accelerator, and I've really been enjoying this combo lately. Other than that, it's always my Younique 3D fiber lashes that give me, you know, awesome lashes that look like I'm wearing falsies, but I'm not. But because this is a very light, I'm not going for big drama lashes with this makeup look. And so I feel like this is a more appropriate combo for my lashes. But if you wanted to punch up your lashes, if this was an evening event that you were going to, which I feel like this look could work for daytime, this would be very work appropriate. This would be, you know, a day look that you can transform into a night look if you deepen your outer V area a little bit more and smoke that out a little bit more. You could totally transition this look into a nighttime look. And if you really wanted to glam it up, if you have glitter, you could put a little glitter on the lids, on your mobile lid. And that will be very nighttime appropriate. But I prefer daytime, natural, neutral looks with just small pops of color. Nothing too outrageous for me. Because that's the beauty that I like. Okay, and I'm gonna just hit my lower lashes. Oh, did you see that? Got a little mascara on my nose. So whenever that happens, you don't want to wipe it off right away. You want to leave that alone, let that dry. We'll come back to it later and flake it off. You can use a Q-tip. I'm just going to let that dry out a little bit and use my makeup wipe to just got our eyes and our face done. Now we need to figure out what we're going to put on the lips. And I got this Trestique lipstick pencil in my Ipsy bag this month, and I want to use this color because look at it. Oh my gosh. Let me give you guys a swatch. That is beautiful. The color is called Tuscan Wine. And so it is a matte color, and it's beautiful, you guys. All right, so again, since we are playing in a palette today, I again am feeling a little adventurous. And I just kind of want to play around with my Becca Chrissy Teigen palette and see what other things I can do with it. So what I'm going to do is I am going to dip my lipstick brush into this Beach Nectar highlighter, and I'm just going to pop it on the center of my lip just to give my lipstick a little pizzazz. Because right now it's a flat matte color and I just want to punch it up just a little bit. I probably should zoom you guys in so you can see that. So I just put a little bit of that Beach Nectar highlighter onto a lip brush, and I'm just popping it in the center of my lips near my Cupid's bow as well as on my bottom lip. Just for a little extra something something on the lip. And I like that. I feel like it brings light to my lips. If you want, you could top it off with a gloss. or you could just leave it like this. I am going to leave it like this. Let's just clean up our little makeup faux pas that we made earlier. Brush that away, put a little powder on the nose, and we are good to go. This makeup tutorial is done. This is the completed look. And you guys, I thoroughly enjoyed using my Becca Chrissy Teigen palette in playing in my makeup today. Do not limit yourself with this palette. Play around with it, because you can come up with endless summertime beachy, glowy, bronzy looks with this palette. This is definitely a must-have for your makeup collection. If you are a makeup enthusiast, a makeup lover, a makeup artist, this is a palette that you don't want to sleep on. So it is limited edition, so while you can get your hands on it, I would recommend that you hurry up and get your hands on it, because you're going to have a lot of fun in this palette. I feel like this is a great reflection of Chrissy's personality. She's very fun, loving, energetic type of person, and her makeup always looks bomb. You know, not that you're gonna look like Chrissy after using this, because she looks like Chrissy, but definitely if you are a fan of hers, if you are a fan of makeup and you just want a beautiful palette that will complement any skin tone, you definitely want to look into getting this palette. Thank you guys so much for coming back to the tea room and sitting with me through this tutorial. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you learned a few things while you were here, a few tips, a few tricks. You know what I'm gonna tell you. Stay sweet, stay beautiful. I love you for watching, and remember, there's always time for tea. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click that little bell in the right hand corner of your screen so that you can know when I upload my next video. Until the next one, I will see you later. Bye-bye.